with push and shove. Possession is the motivation, hanging up the whole damn nation. Looks like
Hi guys, welcome to the next episode of the Feos YouTube series. Today I'm going to review the Nexus 5X. Hey dude! Yeah, Adam? Last time you made one of these videos, you said that I could do the next one. Can I do this one? I did? I don't remember saying that. Well, you did, and I'd really like to do this one. Please? Oh, if you'd like to review it, be my guest. That'd be awesome. That's awesome, bro. Thanks. It's gonna be amazing. Alrighty then, so my twin brother Adam is gonna review the Nexus 5X. Let's go. The form of the Nexus 5X closely resembles its predecessor, the Nexus 5. It retains the soft polycarbonate finish and is lightweight, making use a lot more comfortable. The 5X is taller, thinner, and wider than the Nexus 5, coming in at 147 by 72.6 by 7.9 millimeters. The increased height of the 5X obviously means that the device has a bigger display than before. It has a 5.2-inch display with a 1080p resolution. At first you may be thinking, 2 years later and they didn't change the resolution? But I can assure you, you're getting a super premium display for the price. LG has updated the panel, which is now an LCD instead of an IPS display. The colors on this thing are super clear, super vibrant, and ridiculously super crisp. On the front of the device, there are what appears to be two front-firing speakers. However, only one of them is a speaker. This is quite deceiving and disappointing. At first I was excited because I thought the 5X had the same stereo sound as the 6P, but that's not the case. The speaker is definitely not the best as it's a bit tinny, but after a while it didn't really bother me. Here's a sample of the audio. When Apple introduced the reversible lightning cable, I lost my love for the small micro USB connector. I've always thought Android should have a reversible plug, and I'm glad Google did too. The Nexus 5X packs the new USB-C connector that is reversible and is equipped with quick charging technology. When the 5X was plugged in using the quick charger, it went from 15% to 100% in less than 2 hours, which is pretty good. I don't think it's any faster than Lightning, but at least Google's done with micro USB. See this metal ring on the back of the 5X? That's the new Nexus imprint fingerprint sensor, which is actually pretty awesome. Setup is really easy, and from there, unlocking your smartphone is just natural. It was a little weird at first since I'm used to Touch ID on the iPhone, but it didn't take too long for me to adjust. I actually have come to prefer the location of the Nexus scanner over the iPhone's. When you pick up any phone, your index finger naturally rests on the back of the device, so when I take the 5X out of my pocket, it's on by the time I can see the display. Nexus imprint is also quite fast and accurate. It reads my finger almost every time and opens within a second. When comparing it to Touch ID, I found that it was faster by a literal millisecond. Cameras on Nexus phones haven't been very good in the past. The colors are usually undersaturated, or the photos are noisy, or they're just plain bad. Thankfully, this is the year where things look promising. Both the Nexus 5X and 6P are packing the same 12.3 megapixel camera, and I have to say, the pictures are pretty darn good. Pictures have good colors, they're not over or undersaturated, and though some photos did look a tiny bit noisy, I think it's safe to say the majority aren't. HDR Plus mode on the 5X works pretty well too. It makes the photos more vivid without making them look really edited, and it has an automatic detection feature like the iPhone. The device also has laser-assisted autofocus and a dual-tone flash, and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. The front-facing camera takes good, bright pictures and has a wide lens, but I don't take enough selfies to be wowed by its quality. The Nexus 5X and the Nexus 6P both lack optical image stabilization, and unfortunately it really shows. The 5X shoots good 4K video, but a lot of it looked a little hazy and noisy, and it was definitely shaky. I have pretty steady hands, but even that didn't seem to help the video on this phone. Okay, so if you buy this phone, you won't have the smoothest or crispiest video, but for the price, it could be worse. I don't know if it's just me, but I couldn't find the settings for slow motion video anywhere in the Google Camera app. I did a little digging, and I found out that the 5X only shoots slow motion at 120 FPS, which is quite odd for 2015. I'd expect 240 FPS as well, but if you want that, you'll have to spend some extra cash on the 6P. Being a Nexus phone, you'd expect the 5X to be a real speed demon, and throughout my testing, I think it's proven its power. The 5X has a hexa-core 64-bit Snapdragon 808 processor with 2GB of RAM and an Adreno 418 GPU. These specs and stock Android Marshmallow give the phone some serious juice. Apps load quickly, multitasking is smooth, animations look good, and throughout usage I didn't notice the phone getting any warmer than usual. Overall speed and task management is really good on this device, which is a nice refresh considering some other Android devices. The only app I did find performing poorly was the Google Camera app. I found that almost every time I opened it, it would skip and stutter like crazy. The shutter lag was sometimes 5 seconds, and when trying to get the perfect shot, that's just unacceptable. Hopefully they fix this soon with a software update. Battery on the Nexus 5X was pretty good with the new doze feature in Android Marshmallow. I noticed that battery drains slower while sitting idle than with other devices that have earlier versions of Android. With little usage, it made it about 2 to 3 days, and with normal to heavy usage, about a day to a day and a half. Power saver mode in Marshmallow works pretty well too. It turns off animations, dims the screen, shuts off all background processes, and pretty much does what every power saver mode does. This year, Google has loaded the 5X up with Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Marshmallow is mostly an experience and performance update. Google has taken a few cues from iOS and required developers to adopt their apps for app permissions. Like I mentioned earlier, Google has also included a new feature called Doze, which optimizes battery life when the phone is not in use. Apps don't use as much background power, and you can now use your fingerprint to make purchases, and then there's the big new feature, Google Now on tap. Instead of swiping up from the home button, you can now hold down on any page and Google Now scans the screen for information. It picks up every little piece of information it can use most of the time, and I really like the feature. It's really good when someone sends you a text and you want to find out more information about something they mentioned, or any other situation when you want more data. It's a really nifty feature, and it gives Google Now another edge in the fight against Siri. Google and LG have done a really good job with the Nexus 5X. They've created a mid-range yet premium Android device that I consider to be one of the best of the year. It starts at $329, which is a really good price for what you're getting. Personally, I don't believe I would use it as my daily driver. Instead, I'd go for its bigger brother, the 6P. But if you were a fan of the original Nexus 5 and you want to get an excellent Android phone for a great price, I'd say go for it. So that's the Nexus 5X. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you have an awesome day. Alex will be back in the next video, so you won't have to worry about me bothering you guys again. Ciao.